Okay, we're on. Right.
Ready to go?
Yep. Yep.
What's the first order of business?
All the meeting to order.
Are you on there? You can do it.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is a meeting of the Alcoholic Beverage Commission of Vigo County, it's April 20th, 2026. I call the meeting to order. Let the record reflect the meeting of the Alcoholic Beverage Board, Vigo County, the 26th of April, 2026. The members of the local board are Matt Billiard, Jeff Flynn, myself, Ray Azar, and we have excise police officer, master officer Brad Lutz. Are there any individuals here who wish to voice opposition to any permits on the agenda today? With all those, sorry. Will all those in attendance seeking a new permit, requesting a change of location or ownership, or seeking a renewal after violations stand? Raise your right hand and take the following oath. Do each of you solemnly swear or affirm under the penalties of perjury that the answers that you have given on your application and testimony you may give in response to any questions asked to you by the board to be the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I did, yes.
I'd like to have a motion from someone on the board to approve the automatic renewals. You want to read the automatic renewals?
Yeah, that's fine. I'll make a motion. We approve the following automatic renewals: TWGBRL LLC, DL 84318897, Drury Development Corporation, RH 8498110, BPO Elks 86, RC 8400516, Terre Haute Hotel Partners LLC, RH 8423193, Sweet Lou's Pizzeria LLC, RR 8421624, Country Club of Terre Haute Incorporated, RC 8401458, Midwest Property Development Association LLC, RR 8443000, Servicios Dominguez LLC, RR 8442176, and two Bauer and Rowe Incorporated locations, first DL 8402126 and also DL 8402909. Those listed are without violation and without remonstrance.
Second. The motion to accept the automatic renewals has been made and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, we'll now move to individuals who are representing a permit with violations. The first one being the Butler's Pantry. Who was here for the Butler? Could you come? Sure. Someone will see.
Sure.
Let the record reflect, I'm going to recuse myself. Say your name
My name's Chris Kraut,
and your address.
683 Wabash Avenue.
Okay. All right, there have been a violation made of Butler's Pantry. You want to explain, are you aware of that violation?
I am.
You want to explain what happened and what has since transpired?
Sure. One-time event and alcohol was purchased from Sam's Club. State of emergency, not having the order in time. So I made an error in judgment, which will not happen again. I was not there the day that occurred, so I'm not exactly sure what happened on that day, but I know alcohol was purchased, not from a distributor.
Chris, was it you that purchased it or an employee?
It was me.
Okay.
So this happened during the Alcohol parade.
Did.
You were fined?
We were
How much was the fine?
$750.
Have you paid that?
I have
Is that your only violation?
only violation.
Was the person serving it an employee?
No.
On payroll?
Yeah.
No. Why is that?
Say a friend who has a bartender's permit and does events in town. And she was operating under my license in front of our place for homecoming. And they're in judgment on that as well, on my part.
Any questions?
What do you mean she was operating on your behalf or operating for herself? How do you mean that?
No, through my business, through my sales, she was just manning the operation. Supposed to be the responsible party.
Any questions, Matt? Yep. Entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Have a motion to approve, seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Abstain.
Thank you. very
Thank
much.
you. Appreciate
Next one is Walmart Stores East. State your name, your address, and how you represent, what's your role?
Lisa McKinney with Bose McKinney and Evans representing Walmart stores. Out here today, go ahead. introduce yourself.
My name's Jamie Lane and I'm the store manager at the Terre Haute South Walmart store.
And this store had a compliance survey done, and where the employee, sold without requesting ID or age, anything, against all Walmart policies and sold to a minor. And this was written up. She admitted that she did it. Walmart is very strict with their employees, to make sure that this doesn't happen, but trying to control that with human error is hard. She bypassed the system and sold the alcohol, so she thought that said that the person was over 40. Clearly they were not. So the alcohol was sold. They have had one other violation in 2023. Since then, Walmart has gone through this store and had multiple checks, and then I should let you go ahead and describe. Go ahead.
So when something like this happens, we take it very seriously. We go through, we retrain everyone. We have computer-based U-learns that they have to redo. They do them every quarter. When something like this happens, they have to go back and they have to redo them. That being said, that's 386 employees at the current time that have to go back and retake this test. So it is quite extensive. And once a quarter, they have to also take this CBLV one. They also have what we call, there are secret shoppers. They come in and they try to buy alcohol, which is what excise does also. And we've not failed any of those compliance checks in that time, but they ramp them up when something like this happens to try to make sure it's not a one, like it's not like, hey, this just happened because this person wasn't doing their job. This happened because there's an overall problem with the store and how it's operated. So we passed all of those. So we take it very seriously. We have what we call ID 40. That's what we call it. And we do ID 40 talks during every huddle. And those huddles happen 3 times a day. And it gets old because, they hear the same thing, ID 40. But it's ID 40 we take it that seriously.
Yeah. So they do their best to try to make sure the training, and they understand. Also, this employee was immediately terminated,
Yes.
and they can't be rehired, correct?
By any liquor store or Sam's Club in the country. So the other thing that we also do is we have AI that goes through, and if you have a cashier that is never doing ID checks on anything that requires ID over 18, whether it be alcohol or, something else, it will flag them. And we then have to investigate and we terminate them if we find that they're not putting in any type of birthday. So there's a lot of new AI generated information out there that helps us be better managers and better leaders in the community.
They're supposed to be looking at the ID and entering the birthday off of the ID. So that's where.
So have any of your internal investigations found just a random but consistent birth date being entered by employees?
We have had that.
And what do you do about that?
The associate was terminated. She was actually putting her own birth date in. And it was a lot of, what it caught it on was a lot of stuff out of D9, and D40, which is pharmacy and sporting goods. That's what she was buying, stuff that you have to be 18 to buy, like there's some medicine you have to be 18 to buy. And there's some things over in sporting goods you have to be at least 18 to buy, not firearms or anything, but just random, like fuel and stuff that you have to be over 18 to purchase.
And you're saying that she was entering her own birthday
Yeah.
for those of a customer.
Correct. So it will flag and it will tell us, hey, you need to go look at this. And that's what it did. And she ended up losing her job for that.
Thank you.
So do all these cashiers have the right and the knowledge to override? I mean, I noticed that's.
It's not it is an override, whereas you have to say they look over 40. Like it pops up on the screen and they have to say this person looks over 40. And our ULearn has people that look different ages and the cashier has to decide whether they're over 40 or under 40. And the only way you pass that ULearn is if you guess everyone correctly. So you have to go back and retake it and it'll show different pictures each time.
Well, pretty good training.
We try.
However, you were caught by
Yeah.
that's a kind of
Yeah.
a test thing. So how many people may have gone through that were not part of that? We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. We hope that it's not any. That's our goal.
Well,
And that's
I know your training sounds great. I don't know what else you could do, because whoever was trained failed this test, lost her job.
She did.
Yeah. Questions?
Was, your 23 violation before you came?
I've been there since 2016. I actually opened the original Walmart store.
Yeah, I didn't state my question correctly.
Yeah.
Your license is good for 2 years, right? You come back for renewal.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't know. I'm assuming it's 2 years.
I think it is.
I don't know.
Were they here for a violation at their last renewal? That was a 23 violation.
Yeah, let me pull that up.
Oh, we're here for 25.
I will tell you
Yes.
that this was the 2023 violation was their very first violation since they've had the permit.
Sure.
And
Yeah, it's the only one because I've
Well, I
been
guess
here
what
for
I'm-
Yeah,
less than
their
10
last
years.
renewal date was
Yeah.
a year ago.
Yeah.
A year ago in 2 weeks.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we heard that one.
Yes.
And then they came back because they had a violation between that one and today.
Because this violation was February 2025.
Right.
And the one that happened in twenty twenty-three, yeah, would have been, right,
So
2022, it would have been probably.
you understand we don't want to see you,
I know. I don't see you either.
well, no,
Yeah.
you're welcome here. But don't want to see repeat.
It is actually very unusual for Walmart to have any consecutive violation, any violations, honestly.
Yeah.
And then also consecutive violations because they take it so seriously and it's immediate termination and people don't want to lose their jobs and never be rehired again. But it's very hard to deal with human error to just decide to do something that is so counterintuitive when you know you could just check the ID. So.
Yeah, volume too, I'm sure is way higher than most other retailers in our county. Not that that's a reason,
No.
but there's definitely greater chance for error.
For, yeah, I move approval.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Very good. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next one is Bauer and Rowe. State your name and address, please.
William Harper,
Position.
owner 10505 South Kimball Street, Terre Haute, Indiana.
What's your position?
Owner,
Are you aware of the violation?
is this the one from the Riley store? Was it last year? I thought we had a hearing on it because we missed one. There wasn't enough to vote last year. And then we got pushed back a month. I thought that we heard it on that, but I wasn't sure. That's what I said about.
This is Riley.
Yes, or Barbie.
Pardon me?
Does it say for Barbie?
Yes.
Okay, because last year, or yeah, I showed up and there wasn't enough to vote on it, so I pushed back a month. And then we talked about it, but I don't know how that went exactly.
They had one in 2024, and I think that's the one that you're referencing. So you had a violation in 2024 and again in 2025.
Same store?
Mhm.
Okay, one was Kenny. Okay, the first one was Kenny, this is Lisa. Okay.
What have you done to prevent it from happening there?
Well, I mean, our biggest thing is when we hire somebody, when we have employee dinners, when talking, checking ID is the simplest, and it's your number one priority. It's your number one job. These were actually, it was two older employees who've been with us for many years. Obviously, this one here, she's been with us 6 years or so. And I don't know if she was just frantic that night in a rush. It was a Friday evening. She called me flustered, and I mean, it's the number one thing we harp on, that is it's your number one responsibility. Like I said, she's been an employee. She's a full-time. She works at multiple stores. I think that she just made a bad judgment on it. And I mean, because the kid looked very, very young. There was no reason that it should have ever not been the first thing when he walked in the store that you knew to check. And it's a small store, you know, most of your clientele, most of them are regulars. So there really was no excuse. So, I mean, just for not doing her job that day.
One of the more disturbing things in the report, she was reported to have said something along the lines of, after having asked for an ID, told the young man or woman did not have an ID. She was reported as saying, "I'm going to get in a lot of trouble for this," and rang it up.
That never made it to me. She called me right after, I mean, within a minute or so, crying on the phone. So she knew that it was a big deal. And I mean, I just couldn't believe when I saw the kid and saw how he looked, and how do you not, you know? And she lives in the area. She knows a lot of the customers, and there's no excuse.
And she's still employed.
She is.
So she had enough doubt to ask for the ID, but then decided to go ahead and sell it anyway.
That's what is
Because the
frustrating.
person buying did not present an ID. It said, "I don't have my ID." Is that correct?
Correct. Well, and that's, you're bringing me, I was not aware of that at the time that detail was left out. And yeah, it was a terrible judgment, and sometimes her flusteredness, sometimes I would lead to being unsure of herself. And we usually have her working with other people, and there's been multiple times where I've had issues where something not got rang, but as not an excuse when we're shorthanded and you can't just, like I said, we're a small business. I mean, I've known her for years, and it's not that she's egregious trying to sell minors. I think that she just made a terrible, terrible judgment.
So did you sit down and talk to her about this?
Yes, we've had multiple conversations. I work with her quite often anyway. And she knows the protocol, and, you know, it's, if you look under 40, you're IDing them. Obviously you have your regulars who, you know, are in their 40s, 50s that look young, but if you don't know, always ID everybody. If there's no, I mean, you can't ID, you know, a 70-year-old man that comes in. They get very frustrated with that. You know, when that was in effect for a year, you had more upset customers.
You pointed to me, were you
so
implying
I thought you looked in your 50s, but
How many stores do you own in Vigo County?
just 3 in Vigo County, 1 Sullivan, and 3 in Vermillion.
This is the one in Riley.
Correct.
Are you comfortable having spoken with her?
Yes,
That she recognizes not only what your procedures are, but literally the difference between right and wrong? Because there's an indication she knew the difference between right and wrong and turned left instead of right. From the reports that we have.
yes, she is someone who will question herself quite often, and we have, I think, after getting it and paying a fine, that she understands the magnitude. I mean, it's so frustrating to have that conversation anyway, because you shouldn't be having it, you know. But judgment wise, I think she was flustered. It was a Friday night. But yeah, so.
You feel confident that she'll choose right over wrong given the next opportunity.
Correct. I think she it's only, like I said, she's worked for us for about 6 years. And I think it kind of pushed her on a stronger force of really pushing the ID even more.
Would you say if there's a follow-up inspection done and that same individual sells again, would you self-relinquish your license?
What was it?
Would you be willing to self-relinquish your license if there's a follow-up inspection done and that same individual sold it again?
So we would do
To a
one
minor.
license.
Just give it like not ask for renewal.
I mean,
What's your confidence in the individual that's working? for you?
yes, no, she's, like I said, I think it was a huge wake-up call, for her.
I mean, do you trust her?
I do. trust her.
100%.
Yes, I mean, maybe not to get everything done that needs work done wise, but yes, for serving wise. I think she realized how big of an issue that was.
Could be a real big issue that happens again.
I know,
Much bigger issue.
I,
So let me ask you this, then, I'm gonna ask the board. Are we considering a 2-year or a 1-year? Or is this for 2 years?
Depends upon the motion.
I would move for approval 2 years.
I would as well. I
Have
second.
a motion to approve for a 2-year renewal. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed?
thank you, sir. Do I say, or you guys?
No, you don't have to.
All right, thank you, guys.
Next item on the agenda is Texas Roadhouse. Put your name, address, and your position, Texas Roadhouse, please.
Cindy Perkins, 201, well, that's right, 201 East Turner Street, Terrell, Indiana, Manning,
And what is your position? You just said,
Manning Department.
are you familiar with the violation?
Yes.
You want to explain what happened?
A couple came in, it's customary for the host of a steak party of 2, which there were 2 people. They were gonna seat them at a table in the dining room, and this customer said, we'd rather sit at the bar. They walked into the bar, instead of sitting at the bar top, they chose to seat themselves in a booth. There's a male and a female. The female chose to go to the restroom. The male ordered a drink from the server. Server did not ID, didn't question it, ordered a drink and sat down at the table. And this individual clearly was under 21. It was a setup thing.
Why did you say the individual is clearly under 21?
I mean, I can tell when someone's younger than 21, most of the time. But it was really clear it was a young kid. I mean, the server had she was absolutely wrong. She was terminated immediately. It's never been our policy. Her response was she thought that the hostesses carded people and the hostesses allowed over 21 to come into the bar area, which has never been our policy ever. This was her second day on the job. She was fresh out of training, fresh from our responsible alcohol service, fresh out of training. Her sister has worked there for 4 years. There is no way that this girl made a bad mistake. She was just not doing her job. And I don't believe it's part of the training, because she spent 3 weeks in training. And I've never had any other employee at this location ever say, well, I thought the hostess carded people. It's not a policy. It's not what we do. I've never had a violation in 42 years in the restaurant business, and this one was ridiculous, and I apologize.
So someone comes in, they want to sit at the bar, the hostess does not ID them, correct?
No,
So they get into the bar and then they get ID'd if they order it.
immediately.
But can they be in the bar even if they're I mean, if they're under 21, I don't think they could actually be in the bar, could they? That would be a question, I guess.
They can now if they're with a legal guardian.
Right, but we don't even offer that. We don't even let parents bring
Mm-hmm.
a child in the bar. We just don't do it. It's our policy. We don't have kids in the bar. Period.
So if they don't order an alcoholic beverage,
They still get asked to leave. You have to have an ID if you're in that bar area, period.
so the server would ask for an ID even though they don't order a lot of alcohol.
Yeah, if they're not 21, they cannot be in the bar area.
Are you 100% sure that happens?
Yes. What we've done since then, this is, in all my years, this is a new thing for me, for this to happen, but, what we do is if a guest orders, every server has their server pad, they write the orders down. So if someone orders an alcoholic drink, they are responsible for writing the birth date on that table. So if a manager walks by and they see alcohol on table 21, they can go to the server and say, I want to see the date of birth. So that's our way of checking that, servers are asking for ID and not serving anyone that does not have an ID.
Any questions?
I don't have any questions. Motion to approve. I'll second.
Motion, second to approve. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Next item on the agenda is Wayne Newton, Coach, 346 American Legion.
I mean,
Would you say
afternoon, gentlemen.
your name, address, and your position, please?
Clifford Stevens, 3913 Old US 40, West Terre Haute, 47885. I'm the commander, 346.
Okay. The information we received contains a number of items. Can you just tell us about a violation that you're aware of, or maybe violations that you're aware of?
To my knowledge, all violations have been recognized, taken care of, and paid, and took advice from the gentleman sitting there. The problem was the fact that we had some, a first vice and a bad bartender. That's all been rectified. They've all been gotten rid of.
Who's responsible for purchasing the alcohol for the club?
Actually, the gentleman, the first vice is,
And who's that?
right now it's Mr. Lehman, but at that time it was Mr. Julian,
And who is that individual's overseer?
me.
So in the first report, there's one dated in May of 2025. There's a large list of things that were purchased from Big Red Liquor.
Right.
And that would have been who purchased that? Who was responsible for that purchase?
Mr. Julian was. I was not aware of it. That's one of them we talked about it. I had no knowledge of it. I mean, even going over it and did not give them any permission to go over it because we always order through the distributor.
Okay. So Mr. Gillian purchases the alcohol for the club.
Yes, sir.
You're his overseer,
Yes, sir.
but you say that you fixed the problem by firing a bartender.
Or all of them.
How does that fix the problem?
I don't have the thieving and I don't have the stealing and misuse of alcohol.
Okay, that really is not much of an answer to the question that was asked. How does that fix the problem? You've got your hand up the back there.
Amanda Julian got hold of excise in emails and told them that we allowed them to go buy the liquor. They never proved it by him. And I don't remember his name, but he's more the bald-headed gentleman. And he's like, I've got it again. And I'm like, what do you have? He says, I've got the email saying you guys are doing stuff wrong. Amanda made a point of sending emails to excise, to headquarters, and to national to get us in trouble with the liquor and all that.
Okay, so I just want to surmise the statement that you just made and combined with, I'm sorry, what's your name?
Clifford,
Mr. Clifford.
no, it's not Mr. It's Clifford.
You say that there is an issue there. An individual, not a bartender, buys the alcohol. The person who oversees it did not oversee it. The solution was fixed by firing the employees who called in the legitimate complaint that led to the violation. So you're not saying that there was a fix of the issues related to the law or to the illegal action, but you fixed the people who were calling in to complain about legitimate things that were happening inside the business.
The way we fixed it was when we got the tickets, or we went, I talked to the excise officers and found out a few things about that. And corrected that by taking care of the fines and getting rid of the problem that was caused by.
So did you get rid of yourself?
I wish,
Did you get rid of the individual who was purchasing the alcohol?
yes, sir.
So Mr. Julian, the club oversees.
He took care, we got rid of her, and I think we discussed about the issue, the problem I had. And I got rid of her, I got rid of her husband, and I got rid of another gentleman.
Okay,
That was the only way I could get the problem corrected, because everything comes through her.
did I mishear this? Was there not a club officer who was in charge of buying the alcohol?
No, he was a club officer,
Who?
Julian.
Mr. Julian, first vice,
Okay, so that would have been the bartender's husband?
yes.
Okay,
But the way they were supposed to do it is they are to write down a list of what they need. And I am the one to check our funds to see what we can order from who. Because most of our limits are like $200 to $300 limit per order. And they never gave me the order of what they needed. Tom Smith, his grandson is for Johnson Brothers. They always gave him the order. And then when the order came in, I'm stuck with the order and I'm like, who'd this come from? I didn't see the order that was needed.
You said you have I may have it wrong, $200, $250, $300. You called it
You have to order that much in order to get the delivery.
a minimum.
Yes.
Minimum order, yes, sir.
Ma'am, I'm sorry, I missed it. What was your name and your position?
Denise Gilliland, I am the vice president for auxiliary, but I am also the secretary.
Thank you.
And for the last year and a half, almost 2 years, I'm the one that's been ordering the liquor, alcohol, and all that.
Have you been ordering it from Kroger's or
No, sir.
liquor stores or anything?
No, sir. I always did it straight from the vendors.
You understand that's part of these violations is that,
And that
you're
was-
buying them at, sources that are not distributors.
That was Amanda. She was telling her husband Jim or their best friend Tom Smith, oh, run over to Big Liquor. We need this. We ran that. Because they ran out of something. They never told me what they was needing. So I had to start going down there, seeing what they have to place the orders.
Were they just, sorry,
No, you're fine.
were they just purchasing it with their own money or were they asking?
They were taking it out of our gaming
register.
box. And our gaming box is what we had the money in case we needed to change something in the register, like I ran out of fives, say. Or we were paying out for our pull tab machines that we had at the time.
So were you aware of the reimbursement for the alcohol?
I don't know if they took anything out to pay themselves back or not.
So who purchased it at Big Red Liquors?
Jim Julian,
Okay, so he's the one that went there and bought it. So,
Right.
because Amanda wasn't allowed to leave the post because she was the bartender. She always has to stay there.
Is there something unrelated to your liquor sales and purchases within the post underlying all of this? I mean, if I understand testimony, a bartender whose job depends on being employed, whose husband is in charge of putting in the orders for the liquor, both conspired, if
Against
under
me.
your story, against you. Yeah, what's that? So what is,
Well,
did
what we
you,
did is we caught them, we heard stories about parties going on after hours. And we found out through doing some research and talking to other people that they were having private parties when they said they were closed. And our camera systems have been bad ever since Lightning hit several years ago. So we went and staked out the place per se, and found out that booze was going out the back door. We caught that. We found out through other people getting testimony that they were having free drinks down at the club room. So this all led to that because they wanted rid of me because I started putting a stop to this. And the more I put a stop to it, the worse it got. And finally it come to well, she was sending emails to the excise, and the excise even asked her if she's found any more violations, if she would contact them.
So
And she agreed to it.
what was your per se investigation? You said per se.
Well, putting the recorders out and monitoring what the talk was in the club room was part of it. And part of it was sitting outside watching who was carrying stuff out at 3 o'clock in the morning.
When you say recorders, are we talking
Digital recorders, handheld.
digital? I was picturing something out of the eighties,
We had them too, but I mean,
Did you?
I bought 2 brand new ones at Walmart and just laid them up with it because they was hard to see. They was only about that big, about that long. And used them, and that's how we found out that the parties were going on. The whole objection was to get rid of me. They even contacted the National American Legion and State American Legion. In fact, the lady even wrote a false police report on me that I supposedly showed a black badge to her husband and threatened to put him in jail if he didn't tell me what I wanted to know. Because I've been a private investigator for a long time. And I retired in 1923.
Did anyone file a police report for that crime?
Huh?
Did anyone file a police report for that crime?
For the police report?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you've asked for charges to be filed,
yeah, the police
for
officer
filing a
said,
false police report against
the
you.
police officer said the prosecutor would probably throw it out. So he tabled it and went and talked to his supervisor, and they decided just to close the case. But that really upset him because they really went after me heavy after that.
When did you notice the drinks coming out of the back and the parties happening?
Pardon?
When did you notice the drinks coming out of the back and the parties happening?
A little over a year ago, almost 2 years ago, right after the first ticket we got.
Okay, so in the recordings and in your investigations and your findings, who was doing this?
The bartender was asking her husband to go get the products.
We're still talking about the same
Same
people. So you notice them going against your club policy and violating your club policy by giving free drinks and taking alcohol out the back and having private parties, but you took no action against them.
Yes, I did.
What
I
did you-
didn't catch them for a while because I didn't know how they was taking it out. And the private parties, a lot of times I didn't know they was happening. I'd be home in bed because I thought everything was kosher. And
So
then
what did you do to correct it?
on which I started going down there and sitting down there and waiting until they'll leave when they closed down. Started making them close down on their actual time.
What was the results of them?
I stopped the alcohol from disappearing. And I stopped the free drinks. By being there, it stopped everything.
So they weren't written up, they weren't punished, they
Yes,
didn't have
they
any
were.
action taken against
Yes,
them?
they were. The E-board voted to get rid of them. And so we barred them to start with, and then turn around and send them all letters that they were no longer allowed to be in the post.
And this is the Julians.
Yes,
Okay, and when was that?
around June or July of last year.
Of 25?
Right. This was when the issue came up about everything was pointed at me. One of the officers I talked to, he couldn't figure out why everything was being pointed to me and not being pointed to the husband, the first wife. Everything was supposedly was going through me, which it was not. It was actually them doing it, and she tried to convince the officer that it was me that was doing it, and I could prove I wasn't even there. I had no
July,
conversation.
sir.
July of
Uh,
25?
25.
Yes,
That they were barred, but this is the firing incident that you were talking about, because the first violation happened May of 25, the second violation happened June of 25.
right.
So for the year or 2 years before that, while you found them doing things that were against the club policy, or they were stealing, or or having unauthorized parties, there was no action taken up to that.
They was trying to keep track of where I was at. In fact, sometimes I was at conference at American Legion in Indianapolis, and things were happening. And due to the fact, lucky if somebody else was watching, that's when I think we started really cracking down on everybody. They tried to make sure they knew where I was at, so I wouldn't be anywhere close. And the police officer, your officers done a fantastic job, because the one officer, he could tell that things weren't right. Because several times I showed that I wasn't even in town. When it was put in the statement that I was the one that was down there telling them to go order the alcohol.
One of our fines was for the, I believe it was the 2025 ISU homecoming.
Right,
SAL said that they would take it over, so the Legionnaires didn't have to do it. They ordered their liquor, and excise got us on not having a yellow fence up. That is not on our design. So the Legionnaires are working on a new design for the layout in the parking lot. But that's when they really got us big time. And then when they excise went downstairs, they have like different stands. You can't do that. It all has to be taken up to the bar to buy.
what they did, they set up a beer cooler back by the stage and one by the office to help take care of the flow of people in the club room. Because the bar was overwhelmed by the amount of college kids we had in there.
Is the operation of the bar a big part of your job?
Part of it, yeah. I have to, since all this happened, I'm on it like, you don't know how.
You're what?
I'm on it real bad. We don't have any customers anymore. They chased everybody away. They chased the dart players away. They chased the pool tables away. Slandered me so bad on Facebook, you wouldn't believe.
I'd believe.
They slandered me.
Yeah.
I mean, they even slandered my daughter. My daughter's not even involved with this.
When did you take over there?
8 years ago.
I see a lot of violations starting with 24. Actually, there's kind of a lot of violations before 2018, then just maybe it starts again in the 24. How can you explain that?
I can't, because I had different people in there. And well, for one thing, I was sick. I spent several weeks in the hospital with a urine infection, and then I had another infection. They had me on a heart monitor, thought my heart was going bad, but it didn't. And a lot of stuff did not get done by me. I was trying to get other people to help fill in, which apparently was their friends and not mine. We're on the verge of closing the post and going, just shutting it down because we don't have the business. I'm tired of putting up with all the other stuff. I'm tired of the slander. Went and talked to a lawyer about the slander. He thinks I'd be wasting my money because, if I file anything against them, just like on some rent that he was supposed to pay, I'd be third in line to be lucky to get the money.
Yeah.
This gentleman here gave me some good ideas and I tried to follow through, about how to solve the problem. But doing it and trying to get taken care of, when you got 5 people working against you, it makes it a little bit tough sometimes.
Have all the, you had complaints filed with the excise. Were they all validated or were they anonymous? Do you know?
Do you mean the individual calling in a
You know,
complaint?
there were like 7 complaints in
Yeah.
a certain period of time.
Yeah,
They can be either, a person can leave their name or they can just leave anonymous complaints. For this particular one, I don't know that all 7 were anonymous or with a name listed.
one of the questions I had, some of the stuff that my name came up in, none of the officers ever talked to me. They took her word for everything that went on.
I think they probably just did an investigation based upon the information they had and it may not have, I mean, that's.
I mean, they done their job. I mean, I'm
Isn't
not
Steve-
questioning that. I'm just saying that
Clifford.
she
Yeah.
had.
It says at the top of the report that they talked to.
She had convinced that I was the bad guy. I've been charged being a private investigator for 51 years.
Gentlemen, when we were up at one of our conferences, they sent it, Amanda, Julian sent emails to both state and national. They got them together and it's the same IPC at the end of the computer. All she did was put different names at the beginning of it.
Well, there's a lot being made of like who called in the complaints or that somebody called in a complaint. I mean, that's neither here nor there. Any citizen has the right to call in a complaint on a business, and that complaint, whether it is legitimate or completely false, will be investigated thoroughly. You guys are focusing a lot on, they called in a complaint, they called in a complaint. The bigger issue here is that the complaint was validated via violation.
Well, that's what I'm getting to. They never did question me about whether or not, I would have thought the officer would have came and asked me, did you validate this? Did you do this or not do this? Nobody ever contacted me in 3 of them violations that's on there.
No, that's not true. At the top of this report, it says on April 17th of 2025, you specifically were spoken to.
That's one.
We can't say in left hand, no one spoke to me, and in the right hand, well, it's just one time. But again, did the violation occur? Yes or no? It's a black and white issue. Yes, the violation occurred. No, it didn't.
No, I did not authorize none of that. I mean, I've been involved in this stuff for a long time, and I'll be damned if I'm gonna jeopardize the license to go to the liquor store and spend money when there's a record of it. If the record ain't there, the record's over at the liquor store.
And I know you said they were trying to hide it, but with the excise came in on a random day, walked into the office and the receipt is right there on the desk. To me, it doesn't seem like anybody was trying to hide anything.
The only sheet that was on the desk was the one that I bought the stuff from the Kroger's with food. And I took it to Indianapolis. That product was never in that post. But I put the receipt out because what it does with us, for whatever money I spend out of my pocket for the hospitality room at the Indianapolis, the post gets credit for it. And that's what that receipt was for. And I left it alone. I said the 2 things about it and, they said, well, I got the receipt. Well, the product was never there because the officer didn't see the product. All he did was take a picture of the receipt when I was sitting there looking at him. And I didn't argue with him. I told him I did. I went and bought it. It was Coors, I think it was. And food, I took over to Indianapolis and come back. And then the receipt was there when he come in after I got back from Indianapolis.
Okay, let me read you this statement from the report. One of the documents was a store receipt from Walmart dated 6/3/2025 and included the purchase of 1 case of Coors Light beer. I asked the club officer about the receipt. He stated he had no knowledge of it.
Walmart. One I'm talking about, the only one I ever had, bought beer from is Kroger's.
Yeah, I was referencing the Walmart that they found on the desk during the inspection.
That was another one. Didn't even know that was there.
So, yeah, to maybe validate my point was, it didn't seem like they were trying to hide anything. It seemed like, hey, we're gonna go buy beer and stuff, whatever you want. We'll throw it on the desk for reimbursement or for record keeping or whatever. To me, it seems like it was standard operating procedure.
Yeah. I don't know, gentlemen. It's just, I'm tired of it. I'm sick of it. I'm tired of, all the slander and everything it's with this problem. And, it really upset me when, the one officer told me that he talked to her and she offered to step up to the plate and send anything she could find about me to them. Which is fine. I don't care. I'm not buying nothing. But, like I said, we're losing our butt. We're gonna have to probably put the building up for sale next month. And I'm just trying to hang on for a couple more months until we get the building sold, because we still have veterans that come in there and participate, like to have a beer once in a while. I'm a veteran. I've seen Vietnam. Joke. But what irritates me is all this stuff that she put out. I really felt sorry for a couple of the officers, for all the stuff she told them and related to me that I wasn't even in town.
Which it sounds like there's a lot of personality things going on.
Absolutely,
So we have to
sir.
look at what facts show.
Right.
Evidence shows. So we're looking at buying liquor of beer from another retail establishment and reselling it. And are you saying that never happened or that it?
No, I'm saying I never authorized it, is what I'm saying. The authorization was done when they were there and they needed it, or we were gone, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not asking if you authorize, I wouldn't think you'd authorize it.
No,
but
sir, I
If
didn't.
it happened and you're in charge, there's some responsibility there.
I agree with you, sir, but I didn't know nothing about it.
Yeah.
That's the bad part.
So you fired both Julians. And who does that job now?
Mr. Lehman does.
And who is Mr. Lehman?
He's the new first vice and the
Yeah.
bar manager, and he takes care of it.
And is he a veteran?
Yes, sir.
And I have never served uh, in the military.
That's okay.
And it's too late.
Well,
But what
I don't hold that against anybody because,
my question is, you're an American Legion post, right?
right,
Are these only veterans of foreign wars or anyone who's ever served in the military?
anybody that served in the military, the VFW is the only one that has the foreign war product.
Okay. And what were some of the criteria in your hire of, is it Mr. Lehman? Is that what you said?
Yeah,
What were
he got voted in by the body
By the bot?
membership.
And what impressed you about him, given the circumstance that you have faced with the Julians having been in the post?
I've known the gentleman for a long time, clear back to when I was in React and his parents was in React and he was growing up. And he also served on destroyer in the Navy. I've known him for many, many years.
Can you tell me something about any character traits you see in him that are useful given the situation you have found, the post has found itself in, with the Julians having been in the post?
He follows up on everything he does. When it comes time to order, he double checks the order, make sure that we need it, if we do need it. If we need it, and he sends the list up to her for her to order, if that finances are available. And he also checks on that. In fact, his wife is the bartender. And she does a good job of making sure the records, and make sure the records are sent upstairs every day after, if we have half the time, we open, but nobody's there. And, they make sure that the records go upstairs so she can record them. And we go from there. But I have no problem with Mr. Lehman. In fact, his father-in-law is the finance officer, so between the two of them, I got double whack records they're keeping there.
Thank you.
Do any of your people, that are serving and ordering all this, do you do background checks on them at all?
The employees,
Mhm.
yes, sir.
Any of them have any alcohol related offenses like DUIs or public injuries or any issues? So you've
No.
done a clean.
Amanda, didn't start getting into the alcohol situation until her husband hired her down there, and
Yeah.
then one thing led to another. And within 2 years' time, that's when we found out about the parties going on.
So prior, to this, you felt like they had good judgment, I guess is what
I did. So I got taken advantage of.
happens.
It happens. I'm the guilty guy.
What's the, any other questions? Anybody? What's the pleasure of the board?
It's in your hands, boys. I don't know what else to do. I mean, we've done everything we can. We've changed personnel. Like I said, we're looking at, gonna have to put the building up for sale. The temporary license we have right now, I think is good till July. If you put the other license in place, then it's good until December. And just about bet you $10 bill that the building will be sold before then.
I'm not following the other license. No.
If we are able to get our license back, then it's probably gonna be good until the end of 26. But I have to have the money in to them by,
I thought we was sent that in.
well,
we sent the license in, and then we got told we had to get an extension. And then we had to get,
Oh, you're talking about the expiration date of your extension versus the expiration date of the,
then we had to get the second
Okay.
extension,
Gotcha.
which is good, I believe till July.
Okay.
And then, but the regular license would be good until December.
I understand.
And I don't know, we can't even, we can't even do gambling in there because we don't even have a gambling license anymore. These people just helped us dramatically.
Why would their license only be good till December?
They do, they have to renew it every year, but they only require to come to local board in 2 years.
Right.
And when COVID hit us, it hit us hard on our bingo.
Right.
We went from 175, 180 people down to like 15 or 20. Casino open, they were gone. So that's why we got rid of the gaming license. And all of our women always said, oh, no, honey, it'll be all right. We'll keep coming back. They did.
Anyone want to make a motion to approve? Anybody?
I'm sorry, what are you doing?
We're asking for a motion on this to approve your license for renewal.
It'd be appreciated.
Well, we're
I
asking
want to
for a
thank you. You
motion.
come up with some good stuff for me when we had a couple of calls, but I really appreciate it.
Oh, God, I don't remember any of it.
That's good. You can leave it there. But I do want my comment to pass it on to the officers. I do think they did a good job because they helped me solve some of these problems.
Absent the motion, you can call for a roll call.
Say,
Absent of the motion, you can call for a roll call.
yeah, right. Do we have a motion to approve? We do not. We have a motion to deny.
So if we recommend pushing it to the state, what does that timeline look like, I guess?
Let's see, today is the 20th, so it'd be the first Tuesday in May.
No.
Well, can I just go around and ask him yes or no?
Yeah, that's your roll call, but
Okay.
call me last.
So now I'll ask you first, yes or no on the renewal.
I'm not sure.
That's not an answer.
I think I have more questions. I just don't have my thoughts in place yet.
You're more than happy to answer any questions.
Um. And what is the renewal timeline that we're potentially approving for us? Would that just take them through December? Or is it a 2-year renewal?
The second renewal right now, I think you'll find it's good July something. The actual license would be
You
good.
you can scrap the letter of extension. That's just an authorizing form for them to continue to operate in lieu of the local board hearing. The actual expiration on the permit
And the license,
on a renewal would be December, and they would have to renew it prior to that.
So if we so I have just some questions that helps me clarify. So if we recommend denial to go to the state, if the state denies it, essentially in December, that license doesn't get renewed, or does it happen immediately
It would happen on the state commission's vote.
on the vote? And they would say, hey, at that point in time, you can. If
They may honor the letter of extension, but they would not move past the letter of extension.
so, can we vote to extend through that letter of extension or no?
No, the 3 voting options are renewal for 2, renewal for 1, or deny.
You can go for a 1-year license, but I mean, they would have to do some massive reorganization, but
Right.
they're gonna continue to be cited.
Mm-hmm.
now we haven't been cited since the last one last year. I think that was July, wasn't it, sir?
June 25th.
June, okay. Since everybody's been gone, we haven't had another citation.
Are you abstaining? Is that what you're doing?
I'm not. I will motion for a 1-year renewal. Or you're asking roll
Want to
call.
make a motion?
I would, you said you're doing a roll call. My voice would be a 1-year renewal.
I'm going after you, Ray.
Say it again.
I'm going after you.
It's not.
No, after you.
I would only vote for a 1-year extension.
Till December.
a 1-year extension wherever it falls, I don't know.
I'd have to ask him how that would fall.
Well, it's not a negotiation, so
Yeah. It sounds like you're selling the thing anyway, so maybe the point is mute. I mean, do you even want the license?
Well, yeah, but I mean, what I'm looking at is if, as long as we got the building and we can operate till at least that point in time. And then if the building gets sold, then I can notify them that the license is on hold because we don't
which,
have it.
which is a moot point. I'll advise the board of this.
Okay.
Selling of a business is moot to the issue. The issue is accountability on the violations at hand, not future business decisions that may come down the road, because there is nothing the board has from a recommendation standpoint that would hold a business to whatever sale or business transaction happens after this. The goal of the board is accountability for the violations that are set before you.
I would make a motion for a 1-year renewal. Do I hear a second?
I wanted the roll call from Jeff first. You said you're gonna go around
I'm
and get.
trying to get a
everybody's opinion.
motion on the.
I'd
floor.
like to see their opinions before, so I'm not gonna second. that.
Well,
That's all I
the
got.
roll call is the vote.
Okay, I wanna hear
So
the
you either go roll
from
call
everybody.
or you go motion.
I wanna hear the roll call from everybody.
Jeff, do you have anything you want to say?
I would call would be denial.
Just saying what?
Denial. That's my-
And then
Okay,
the reason for denial.
we don't really have a motion, so I'm gonna make the motion.
I wanna hear Brad's too, if that's okay.
My reason for
I wanna hear
denial
his reason.
is multiple, retail to retail. That continued, even after the first investigation. I understand the conflicting internal, problems at the post that have been expressed today. But they had a leader, and the Julians were still employed, after the first set of violations. Just to continue, not a single, retail to retail, but multiple retail to retails.
It was all in a short time frame too.
My vote is denial for the same reasons. I feel like it was articulated well there. There's an overseeing board that was not doing their job, and there are multiple violations. So that leaves us at 2 in favor and 2 deny for our vote to go to the state.
So we got a denial.
2.
So do we need to
Deny.
motion? Oh, so, I'm sorry. The roll call was the vote,
roll call
wasn't
is
a
the vote.
motion.
All right, the roll call is the vote.
So you go for a 1 year, is that what you're saying?
It is. That was his roll call.
That was my roll call vote, yes.
I said a 1 year, so it's 2-2. And we'll forward that to the state, correct?
Correct.
This will be forwarded to the state and who will make final determination.
Okay, so are we okay until July?
And I don't know.
Or we have to wait? for
Present day, you're fine on your letter of extension pending the decision of the state.
Okay, hopefully we can have our business taken care of and be out of the picture.
Yeah, I wish you.
I'm really upset because it's a disgrace to us. That these people came to us and wanted to say, hey, we did wrong, we did another chance. Well, that's where I screwed up.
Okay. Thanks for coming today. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Oh,
coming.
I'm sorry, I didn't know what's coming. Gentlemen, have a good day.
Thank you.
You're good, bud.
Next item on the agenda is key patrolling. Anybody here? Okay, key patrolling. Time for a new permit.
Transfer. That's the letter that I received.
Tell us about your first, introduce yourself, your name, and your address.
My name is Jesse. I am the son of the owner. His name is AJ. We are, basically, we are,
Hold on. Do you have a limited power of attorney?
I'm sorry,
Do you have a limited power of attorney?
I am the secretary of the company.
Are you a shareholder?
I am not sure about that. I don't think so.
Because Amarjeet Singh,
That's my dad.
that's your dad, he's 100% shareholder.
Yes,
You do not possess a limited power of attorney to be able to speak on his behalf,
yes.
and you are not the applicant in any way, shape, or form.
I am, so I am the one who do all the background jobs.
Well, that's not what I asked.
Okay,
Okay, you're not a member of the corporation, you don't have power of attorney. What gives you the authority to speak on his behalf?
I am the secretary of the corporation, even though I'm not a part of 100% shares, but I can talk on behalf of the corporation.
Why is your dad the applicant and not present today?
My dad is, he's traveling regarding our business, other locations, and he can barely speak English or understands it. That's where I come in and I do all the jobs behind the picture.
I would tell you what I would do with this, but I'll leave it up to you guys to decide whether or not you want to allow this individual to represent a company he's not a part of.
Because I never got told that he needs to be present. I thought the capital needs to be here, so I'm here. If
But
we know
you're-
that we could have,
But you're not Cap Petroleum.
I'm the secretary of the company. But that is a capital,
You're an employee of the company.
true, so
Is it listed on any of the state in biz sites at all? Is his name listed as? I don't know if we can pull that up. Do you know if your in biz filings, are you listed anywhere as a partner and part of that company?
I can double check it with my CPA, yes.
Because if not, we may need to get some documentation for that and obviously even a power of attorney would probably solve some of this, would it not?
Mhm.
Continue.
Is this one we would want to continue? Without having the right information?
Yeah, I think without a question, but this is 90 days, so either a limited power of attorney or the applicant must be here to represent the company, or it'll be a denial at the next hearing.
Okay, so should I call him next time? Or is that what I'm understanding? Or he
No,
needs
if
to be
you
present?
want to represent the company, you need a limited power of attorney. That form can be found on our website, filled out, and it's submitted to the state whenever you fill it out.
I see.
Or the applicant needs to be here. One of the two.
It sounds like you do a lot for the company. It'd probably be good to have that anyway.
Yes, since from the beginning, he always, I always have everything to him
Yeah.
that I manage behind the pictures, well, making orders, making decisions, everything. I mean, everything goes through him, yes. But I'm the one who takes care of everything since I can communicate better, I can understand and I can relay the message properly.
That's fine. I mean, you can do it via power of attorney, or you can translate for your father, either one of the two, but someone with the authority to speak on behalf of the company has to be here.
Okay.
Yeah, bring him with you or a power of attorney. We gotta do it quick though, right? By the next meeting. Is that
Yeah.
right?
So the next hearing here, the last hearing for this corporation will be May 18th at 1:00.
So this is continued till May the 18th. And then you need to have your power of attorney in place, you're gonna be a spokesperson. Perfect. Understand?
And we have our open. Thank you.
Next, P and J's. J's. Introduce yourself and tell us where you live, what this is all about.
My name is Mike Rupsko, and I am a co-owner of E&J's Inc. The business is located at 1366 Wabash Avenue. And this is the other co-owner, John Guy.
So this is Sompus.
Yes.
Irish pub.
Yes,
Tell us a little bit about your background, your employment history, what you guys are gonna do with the restaurant, et cetera.
So I've worked in restaurants forever. It's Terre Haute, there's a ton of them. But in college, I started bartending at Charlie's. And after I graduated, I went for English education, went and applied for a job, found out that I was gonna get paid less to be a teacher than to be a bartender. So then I became a manager at Charlie's. And then I was at Moggers. I was at Charlie's for about 7 or 8 years, and I was at Moggers for about 6 or 7. And I've been at Salka now for 6.5. It'll be 7 in November.
And you're manager at that location?
Yes, sir.
And I have spent the last 15 and a half, 16 years working in healthcare. I graduated from college in 2010 as a registered respiratory therapist. John and I have been talking for a little bit about going into business together. We've been friends since the 7th grade. And we figured it might be fun to give this a shot and see what happens. So that's kind of my background. I have a little bit of experience working in a restaurant. I was a line cook for a couple years. But he has been gracious enough to kind of teach me the ropes in this endeavor.
Do you guys own any other businesses with an alcohol license in the state?
No.
Okay, and what's your agreement for the building? Do you have a lease or are you purchasing?
We've got a loan on, we purchased the building and the land, but we have a loan on.
You've been there for 6 years?
A little over.
Any violations in the last 6 years? That you know of?
Sandy, she was pretty proud that in her like 30, maybe 40 years now, she's never had a violation. She was over the top strict about it. Like we have like a 2 ID thing. And constantly get yelled at from customers by it. But we'll ask for an ID and like something like a debit card or anything with their name.
Better than the alternative, right?
Yeah, 100%. Because
And that's what I tell everybody that complains.
Yeah, I'm fairly new to this board and I guess I have a sec while he's looking that up.
Yeah, go ahead.
Something I've seen is the level of engagement is mission critical for these things. Right, you gotta be there. You gotta be there when the people need you to be there, as you know, working in a restaurant, I know that as well. But we've seen the people that we're usually talking to and having renewal challenges with is because they're disengaged from the business a little bit. So that'd be my advice is good luck with this, but you gotta stay engaged. You gotta have people you can trust because it's a big deal.
And stay on.
Yeah, there's no.
I think the shortest week I've had so far, I was like 67.
You can find people to do it for you, but like, look at Walmart. I mean, the multinational company, right, has challenges. And say
We
what's
saw that earlier.
yeah, one, but it only takes one.
Yeah.
Right, out of hundreds of thousands of transactions, like they're doing way more than what you guys are seeing, so.
And
There's
Sandy,
no violations.
What's that?
No
No
violations.
violations, you're right.
the previous owner, like I said, she was always very
Adamant.
about IDing. So even like on St. Patrick's Day, like those days when we see an influx, like we hired 2 police officers.
Yeah.
To work the door, check IDs on the wall. We always hire a bunch of officers to be up front, in front of the fences, so they're checking IDs. She's always very, very bad.
Do you have a GM for it or no? You hired a GM for the restaurant this year?
Not yet. I mean, we just took over on the 30th, so
Okay.
We're just kind of settling in still.
Do you plan on hiring a GM, you think? Or-
not anytime soon, just because like you said, I mean, it's a small business. Like I just
Yeah,
really have to be there. I mean, that's the plan. Hopefully in the next maybe like 10 or 15 years, like we can hire somebody we can trust and kind of step back and, but right now, yeah, we're pretty much hands on.
I don't have any other questions.
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
This will go on
Gentlemen,
May,
good luck.
this will go to the state commission on May 6th. It'll be transferred to your company at that time.
Thank you, guys.
So is there anything I need to do with this piece of paper?
Yep, I need that. One second. Thank you.
Thank you.
They continue for Double D's Smokehouse and Lounge.
Yeah, their representative reached out and said they didn't have their orange sign posted and asked for continuance.
Okay.
That's all the business that we got.